evening, everyone. For taking your time out for this webinar. We intend to have this webinar. Before we could start, I'll just share you what is this GWFM. GWFM is one of the fastest growing professional forum and chartered body in the world. We are now 20,000 industry professionals spanning South Asia, Europe, and also US. We have done more than 56 events so far in India and also in Manila. So far, we intend to do world's biggest event sometime. Because of this COVID. Now we will have to take up virtual event on this. So what we do, I mean, all of you know it. Most of us are GWFM members and also attended a lot of our events as a speaker and panelist in the past. So, however, thought of will share some perspective that what is that GWFM is doing. We do webinars, we do CXOs interviews, we do a lot of conferences, and recently we have started. We are now chartered body. We have offering chartered accreditation to the universities and colleges. We have recently identified that industry is looking for WFM professionals. We are the first one in the global market offering the WFM courses. We have multiple courses offering in multiple streams. One is for the colleges and universities at the degree level, for the UG and then with PG, and also we have certification program which we are offering and which talks about executive program, and also we have come out with the PGP program for 1 year and senior leadership program in WFM. Also, we offer membership. Membership can level of learning, which can really take them to the career level, right from the intermediate to competent and expert, and also they can grow. We also offer fellowship and elite fellow within GWFM. There is a career growth that we have as far as GWFM is concerned. We've been offering multiple courses with more than 11 roles, which are really being very critical in this COVID-19, and also they continue to be very critical roles in the organization. Recently, we have done a couple of programs in association with Jain University. We did one program at CITL. And we have also now brought in trying to hire model, where we identify the need of the industry, and we offer the trying to hire model, especially for the final year students and last semester students. They're deployable right after the program is done. So GWFM has been providing a lot of platform in terms of master classes, webinars, and also multiple business cases. Also corporate memberships, and also the building POCs, internship programs. Also some of the advanced program with academy and also industry perspective. So GWFM has been very instrumental in terms of making this WFM initiatives, especially first time in the global market, and also interestingly that we have included business continuity management as part of the course, which is very essential. We thought that for the managers, also for the graduates, whoever is passing through, they should really learn and understand that what is business continuity management is all about. So with this, we're going to have each one of us introducing ourselves and get to know that who we are, and probably we'll take it on post switch. With this, thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing each one of you.
Now coming into this pandemic process, so what we are observing nowadays, like the students are getting panic based on different articles. Every day they are going through, and each and every day Insta means number of messages like, sir, what about the campus hiring, whether it is going to be freezed or whether whatever. Those who have already been selected means they are also getting panic, like their joining will be there or not. because since all are on the same boat, so we also cannot say anything. So keeping in view of that, like many of the articles means I am specifically getting from the students. Like sir, companies are willing to work like remotely on the virtual hiring mode, and if the virtual hiring is going on, then if we are remotely working, then what about the security issues in terms of the laptops? Those are provided by the companies. So how to get that? How the system is supposed to be configured? So that is one point, and main questions are coming like the hiring numbers, whether it is going to be less or it is going to be zero or it is completely free, and the process. Regarding the process, whether all the service company processes as well as the development company processes, it is going to be very tough in comparison to the earlier times. So we are at means at a very basic fundamental level now. So it will be precise to hear from each and every, like whatever is the outcome.
Thank you, Sujit.
Good evening to the panelists. It's a great opportunity to be here in this star lineup. So my name is Dr. Harpal, and I represent the single largest university in the country. I am interested to make 40,000 happy careers. Let me underline the word happy careers. Now, we have seen that the situation is no less than a war. I'll put it that way, because we have been talking digital thus far, but I feel now this is a time where we need to embrace it and then take it further to the next level. Yes, there is a lot of tension in the minds of both the tots as well as their parents as well as the teaching fraternity. But then, as of now, what I can see is that most of our offers for the last year are in place. I feel that the new kind of job will appear now. People will have to be more aggressive in their entire thought process and how do they present their story to the entire world. With this, I will rest my case and will like to put up some question towards the end of the session to the entire esteemed panel.
Thank you so much, Harpal.
Yeah, my name is Yasmin and I head HR for a healthcare multinational called NextGen Healthcare in India. It's a 40-year-old company and we make a lot of healthcare products. And in these COVID times, some of our products are really helping with virtual doctor visits. And I think it's great to be part of such an organization, which, especially during these times, I think we're able to do some service to humanity across. Thank you, Partha and Shiva, for having me here on GWFM, and hello to all the panelists, and thanks audience for joining in. I think these are definitely testing times. I've heard some of the folks from the university speak now. Yeah, it's very unpredictable. We're hearing about job situations, which is could be reduced jobs, internships, not as much as there, or it's pretty unpredictable. I think while we'll discuss through what it is, I think in crisis sometimes there lies an opportunity. So I think it's very important for students to also look at that and see what best to make out of what's available right now. There's tons of online resources. There's a lot of digital offerings that are there in terms of courses, internships. So build your skills, build your capabilities while at home, doing different projects. And I'm sure we all continue to hope that this COVID will end soon and we could get back to where it is. Of course, there will be changes, but I think it's important to stay positive and take it as it comes. And I'll stop at that. Thank you.
You will know who's there, because I'm not in.
Aditya, would you like to go next?
Nadeem, can you start? Nadeem, are you there?
Yes, I am there. Good evening, friends. My name is Nadeem. I head the talent acquisition. I represent an organization called Inspiraj. Inspiraj is a global consulting platinum partner of Oracle. We have been recognized as a supply chain company. We are primarily a global consulting firm. Yeah, during this pandemic situation of COVID-19, definitely our delivery has been impacted. We do multiple projects in Middle East and Europe, and we have seen a devastating time. Most of our consultants are back home. We have called them back safely. We feel happy about it because Europe is one of the bigger place where the pandemic has affected a lot. So we are being able to call them, and we have been doing a lot of remote support at this moment. At this situation, we felt like we need to stay, we need to show patience, we need to stay calm. This is the first time we are experiencing the VUCA model. We have been talking about some ages, but everybody is facing this volatility uncertainty model at this moment. So our patience and being calm and being assertive will take us through. These are all the passing clouds. Definitely, we'll reach the brightness somewhere in a short duration of time. For coming on the campus part, yeah, we have been honoring all our campus hires. The only thing we have done is we have deferred the joinings. We just want to make sure that all our online platforms and training in place. So once we do that, we'll be able to honor all our friends and all our campus hires. We have deferred it by a quarter, but we'll be able to honor them. We'll be able to show them a career path in the Oracle field for them. So that's what I can say at this moment. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Shiva. Thank you all. Thank you all my esteemed friends. I'm happy to see all your faces. I will be more happy to meet you physically than virtually. Let's see how fast it is possible. Stay blessed. Thank you so much. I'm done, Parthura.
Thanks, Nadeem. I think we can go ahead with Vishwa.
Good afternoon or good evening, rather. So my name is Vishwanath. I represent a company called Axis Credis. We are an engineering product company. We do a lot of work in the aerospace and automotive. Honestly, these are the two sectors which got impacted heavily. So which means we are also impacted to that extent. But good part is we have not seen decline in terms of the new work coming up. So that is some good news there. But yes, what's going to happen from now on is what is happening. So to look at from the campus standpoint, we've not done any changes in terms of joining, but yes, there will be some extension of a month or so kind of thing so that we kind of look at it. But what we've not stopped is some kind of engagement. We are doing some webinars for them, and we have used our existing platform, the company, whichever company uses today, for the learnings of these interns, so that when they join us as a full-time employees, they can get some, some bit of learning before they come in. Right. Additionally, we are also doing some leadership engagement activities with some of the partnering colleges. We have not stopped that. So this organization has always built a good relationship with universities. So we would want to be in touch with the universities and see what we can do. And honestly, in the last 3 to 4 months, whichever offers we made, we had to kind of honor them. But hiring has slowed down a bit. But yes, we'll have to see what happens. But otherwise, from the university standpoint, I'm seeing, not a negative vote, but not a positive vote either. Thank you.
Thanks, Vishwa. I think we can go ahead with now Anuradha.
Hi, everybody. I'm Anuradha Velal. I represent Hindustan Coca-Cola Beverages in India. This situation has impacted us a lot in terms of both production as well as manufacturing, supply chain, and sales, of course, the last 2 months, which is a peak time for us now in selling our beverages. It's kind of impacted, I wouldn't say kind, it's impacted us a lot. That said, however, we are still kind of honoring all our campus hires. In fact, all the summer interns that we had kind of made offers, they're all doing home-based projects and more relevant projects, which are very essential for us in this day and time. So that's how we have honored the summer interns, and we are honoring all our campus hires whom we have made offers to. Having said that, I mean, is there something more over and above this that we are doing in this year? Yes, of course. One of the things that we are doing is we are actually doing a teach learn kind of a session with the campuses. In fact, this we have been doing it last year as well, and even this year we continue to do. We give a lot of opportunity for students to come over to our factories, manufacturing units, wherein they can learn about how actually the entire manufacturing unit, I mean, the product gets bottled, because we actually bottle a lot of Coca-Cola products. So having said that, we actually engage our students to come into our office, and not only that, we conduct on India-wide essay competitions and case study competitions for students. We continue to do that this year as well. In fact, very recently we had partnered with Hindu on their huddle program, wherein we kind of ran an essay competition for almost about 150 campuses, and the students who won top 10 in the essay had an opportunity to come and visit all our factories, both in Aranya and Birdi. So we continue to do those kind of things so that students are engaged and kind of learn from us, and we also understand what are their needs and kind of cater to that. So that will continue from our end. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Hanu. I think now we'll go ahead with Savita. I think Savita, you have a presentation. You can share the screen and run through the presentation.
How can I share? I mean, I don't have the presentator access, so
you can click on the icon there below the video icon. You can present it, or you can wait for a while. You can share it with me. I'll present it.
I shared it. I have already shared it. Do you think you can?
Let me look at it. Savita, I think it will come back after introduction from Monica and then Param.
Yeah.
Fine?
Yeah, sure. Sounds good. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Monica Marga. I'm part of NCM Corporation, currently managing university hiring role for Asia Pacific and Japan. Now, the precise situation I think we all are undergoing with this change, possibly to be honest, it was long awaited. We were waiting to see there's going to be a lot of change in 2020, but we were expecting some miracle to happen overnight that yes, we will accept a new way of doing it. It is just till the time we have a force to do an action onto it, till that take it forward. Right now, I think it is a very important time for us to accept it, start moving forward to that. So from a campus hiring perspective, all our 2020 hires have been made sure that they are joining with us. Again, the same challenges for deferring their date of hiring as a full-time employee, but we are bringing them on board as an intern, continue with us till we get them on board as a proper. So we are managing our virtual onboarding, and after 3 months, we will be getting them on board. The entire process for 2020 is still safeguard. My only request is how are we planning for 2021? Because that's where I wanted to understand from academia, how are they? So looking forward for the conversation on this session. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Monica.
Thank you, Monica.
I think Param, we can have your introduction.
Hi all. This is Paramveer Singh Narang. I'm representing Standard Chartered Bank. I joined the firm 6 months back here in Bangalore, and since then, so we started focusing more on the campus side. I think bank has started, doing the campus hiring first time last year. And to join in, I think a lot of streamlining the process, bring new strategies for the campus for Standard Chartered. And so I think the last few months, so I started managing India, Malaysia, Poland, so all those 3 locations. So I'm managing from India. I think COVID have heavily impacted to all of us. But I think very few organizations, really honoring all the internships and the full timers. Same Standard Chartered also does that, so we're also honoring that, and we are more focusing on the internship size now. Globally, we have 300 plus interns, and out of that, I think around 80 interns we have in India, so where we majorly hire people from tier 1, tier 2 campuses. So if you look at that, I think most of the colleges, they have those virtual experiences already, but I think pulling together all the interns and giving them internship experience for those 2 months time, that's really a task. And I think organizations, all the organizations for that matter, I think they are facing this is the first time giving a virtual experience to the interns and onboarding all the employees virtually. This is the first time we are setting up some example for the rest of the world. I'm sure, I think that's the only way to look at the world now. A lot of people, so who was looking at earlier work from home is not an easy task. Can we do that or no? But I think that's a new norm now. If you look at that, I think most of the organizations, 95% people are working from home across the globe, not only in India. And I think that's a new norm, and I think we really have to live with that. More tools and technologies to come with the new innovation, new ideas, how to make it more efficient, more productive. I think that's a key now. From Standard Chartered perspective, I think having said that, we are working on a new cutting edge technologies. A lot of innovation is being done. Physical experience. Having said that, virtual, I think that's a key. We really have to move towards the virtual hiring now, lateral, campus, all that. I think we are moving towards a new industry. So that's all for my end. I think, and thank you so much, Partho and Shiva, setting up this call. And that's too on the.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Pradam. Thank you. Adi, you'd like to come on?
Yeah, thank you, Partho. Hi, I'm Aditya. I head talent acquisition for Informatica India. The situation is, well, I look at the glass half full, look at more from a positive angle, because everybody is looking from a very different lens altogether, and happy to take on questions anytime. My thinking and the thought process is, I remember when I passed out in 2000, to whoever has passed out in 2000, there was a dot-com burst, right? A lot of us didn't land up jobs, right? Remember for a fact that colleges are finally gauged on the placements they do. End of the day, they need to make sure the product is ready for the market, right? It's a terrible way of assessing colleges, but that's the way we assess colleges, right? As simple as that. And if you look at where we are today, if some of you remember Maslow's theory, you have the basic needs and the physiological needs. That's where we are stuck right now in the industry, right? Right now, safety is the prime focus for anybody to everybody right now, right? We're stuck in that phase right now. I know for a fact that in another 3 months, 4 months down the line, we will recover. It will be like a V-shaped recovery, but it will take time. But right now, my recommendation to all the deans, all the placement coordinators is, there are multiple industries which are going out, which are growing extensively. Look at working with them. This has also enabled a lot of other industries to pick up new jobs. While there are jobs in the market for freshers also, we just can't put our hands up and say it will not be possible. For the kids, it's as simple as that. Sometimes it takes time. It's okay to take time, right? I think it's okay to have a gap, but to land the job which you want to do, right? And there's a advent of gig economy, freelancers. There are a lot of other things which has come into play. And this is, remember for a fact, this is a Generation Z which we are talking about, right? There are whole set of a different ball game with them all together. So happy to take on questions. I've just made sure I finish in 1 minute. Back to you, Partha.
Thank you. Deepak or Savita, you ready?
Yeah, I think Deepak is talking, so you can finish.
Deepak, finish the
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you. So first of all, thanks everybody and good evening, industry colleagues and friends. My name is Deepak and I head HR for SS&C Technology in India. So we are a finance-based product company, and basically we deal in hedge funds, wealth management, etc. So today we are close to 25,000 people across the globe, and in India we are around 4,500 people currently, and poised to grow to 6,000 by the year end. So now coming to the current situation, frankly speaking, I see a silver lining today as far as our company is concerned. Though a lot of people are talking about multiple issues, but really we don't know what we are dealing with currently. But the current situation has forced us. So let me tell you, we never hired campus people. The first time, because of the current issues, has caused us to go ahead and hire a handful of campus graduates and the intern as well, to experiment that how they can fit in our overall larger scheme. And if it works out, we are going to have a huge number of fresh graduates going forward. So what I can say is that while there is an issue in the short term, however, from mid to long term, we definitely see silver lining, because currently in our organization, due to current issues, it has forced us to move more and more work from UK and US. So our headcount in India is going to grow, and my sense is this will see more and more work coming to India. But yes, in short term, we may definitely have some challenge. Thank you. Over to you, Partha.
Thank you. Shivu?
Yeah, I'm ready with the presentation.
Savita?
Yes,
Savita, you can
okay,
start
I
with your
can.
introduction. I'll get the
Yes,
PPT
sure.
up by
Yeah. Hi. Hey, hi everyone. Thank you, Parthuda and Shiva, for inviting me to this webinar. And hi to all the panelists. Hello. I know a lot of you, and it's so wonderful to see all of you, even though it's virtually after a very long time. And also hello to all the viewers as well, and the participants. My name is Savita, and I head up recruitment for a company called ThoughtWorks in India. I'm based in Bangalore. ThoughtWorks is an IT software solutions company. We provide custom IT software solutions for our clients. So to quickly begin with, if we look at what we are doing this year, we're honoring all our campus offers, except that we are pushing the start dates forward. But we do want to honor that, and we are keeping in touch with the candidates and doing most of the stuff which all my other panelists have already explained so far. So the other thing, but for when it comes to 2021, we are yet to make our plans because we would like to wait and see how things pan out after July before we go ahead and reach out to campuses and begin a campus hiring. So yeah, I just put together a few of my thoughts around the impact of COVID on hiring, specific yes to campus as well as in general on hiring. Shiva, if you could please move the slide. Or I could just talk. So, so this is what the International Labour Organization Director General had to say, that what began as a global health crisis early this year has also turned into one of the very big economic crisis for the world. And there is no region of the world that is not impacted, or a domain or an industry that has not got impacted. While a few of us are feeling the impact earlier, there are other industries which will have a cascade effect, and we will also go through a big churn this year. And this is something which was unimaginable. So nobody has even prepared for it, or mentally or financially prepared for such a big change to impact us right now. Yeah, we could go to the next one. Yeah, so the industry experts specifically to India, they say that there is a 65% drop in hiring. Then there is a survey which was done which said that the 19% is going to be an adverse impact for over 2 years, and there are only about 5% of the organizations which may see a positive change in about 12 to 24 months. There is a general freeze or slowdown in hiring in all the domains across industries, whether it is campus or lateral hiring. There's workforce optimization, which in layman's terms is layoffs and retrenchments happening in many companies. And of course, there are wage cuts, there is delay in the start dates, and then there is offer letters which are being rescinded by many companies as well. A lot of it is something we're not seeing now, but I think once the COVID situation improves a little bit, I think from Q3 or from July onwards, there will be quite a big impact to the industry. And I'm bringing all this to light to let everyone know that that we are in this for a long haul, and all of us are in this together. And I think now it's time for us to just put our thoughts and mind together to figure out what should be the way forward without panicking. Now that the COVID situation has sunk on all of us, and we are now most people are working from home, and colleges and schools and everything are closed. Now we need to think about the next steps before the COVID gets over and we all hopefully get back to a little bit of our normal lives. Yeah, Shiva. Okay. So specifically for the student community and institutions, I think it's very important that that we have to get used to all the online platforms which are there for assessments and video interviews. The whole thing of colleges, the organizations visiting campuses, coming and doing interviews on day 1, day 2 might change a lot this year towards the end of the year. Because there is so much of fear around travel, and then there is cost cutting happening in all the companies. So this is one thing that most of our lives have moved online now, and I think the sooner the student community gets used to it and the colleges adapt to it, the better it is for all of us. And of course, this is a new generation which is always online, and so I think this move it can be quite quick and fast. And there are a lot of industries which, where there is less contact, like say e-commerce industry, telemedicine, healthcare, online education, telecom. These are all going to have a big boom because there is a transformation happening. And these are the areas where there is going to be, a lot of jobs that will be created. While some of the older jobs can die, there will be new jobs which are created. And digital transformation is something what all companies are getting into now, whether it was a retail company or it was in, software. It need not just be in the software domain. And hence, students learning skills in these areas is going to be very useful. I think this year it's important for students and the colleges and campuses to invest more in learning and higher education. Just take a break because the whole world is going through so much of change. It's always good to step back
Paper
and learn
Who's this
more.
paper?
Yeah.
Is this your
And
paper?
and the next one is something on the
Best time.
entrepreneurship. Because of the new industries that are coming up, there are a lot of new sunrise industries which are coming up. So because of this pandemic, and it makes a lot of sense for students and on campuses to also explore this area as well, starting something on their own. Then of course colleges can also focus on redesigning the course curriculum and introducing courses which is going to be useful for students, and introducing new skills and upskilling for students, which is going to be useful for them in the new world. The last one, Shiva, please. Next slide. And for the corporate and industry, of course, no, the one before that, yeah, this was the last one. So the one before that is about how the corporate and industry, of course, has to invest in moving online for assessments and interviews. While we always say it's easy, just buy a tool and implement it, I think the mindset change for all the hiring managers, for the corporate folks, and for the recruiters, it's a very big change. They're all so used to having online, meeting people, meeting candidates. This whole thing of doing everything online is not easy. How do you take the right decisions? How do you change your mindset? That is extremely critical right now for both the corporate and the industry. Now the focus for all the people should be on how do you build a talent pipeline. Don't stop your employer branding, which is very critical. And building your campus connects in educating students. It's a tight time for the corporates to invest and give back. They can go back to campuses, connect and reskill and upskill students, so that when things change, they'll have a good pool of people to hire next year. And alliances with academic in redesigning the curriculum, helping them, in redesigning and bringing more teaching new skills on campuses. I think those are the things what the corporate and the industry should do. So while this year is going to be a slow one, I think we can prepare ourselves for the future. Yeah. So yeah, many questions. Never let a crisis go in waste. I think a lot of people are quoting this this is from the last couple of months, but I think it's important for us to focus on that. And if any of you have any questions, I'll be happy to take it later. Thank you. Thank you, Parthada. Thank you, Shiva.
Thanks, Savita. Okay, Kanchan, go ahead with your introduction, please.
Yeah.
Good to have Minu. Yeah, go ahead, Kanchan.
Yeah. Firstly, good evening to all of you. Thanks to Parthada and Shir to get this platform arranged. Yes, definitely the face-to-face connects are missing, and a wonderful platform to meet you all and the academic team as well. Yes, my name is Kanchan and I represent HCL Technologies. So I head the New Vistas division for HCL. And from a campus hiring perspective, for us, yes, the hiring, we had already met our numbers for this year, and certainly looking forward for some more ramp ups. So definitely in the current situation, yes, it's none other with other organizations, same situations that we are also going through. We will have a staggered joining and staggered process, but then our virtual onboarding and virtual process is definitely on. And I think we are very positive in the current situation is because we have done a lot of deals online, and we are having a lot of ramp ups plans which are pretty on. Only thing is the virtual mode is something that all of us are getting ready, and from that perspective we are very, very positive about it. So I would say from a COVID point of view, for the academy, just to put it differently. So the C for I think how we'll have to look at is co-create and collaborate many platforms and with a lot of stakeholders to see how we can get back to the situation and the time factor that we have. And from a O perspective, yes, there are different opportunities are going to come across for all of us as we are talking about gig economy and newer jobs. And maybe youngsters may have to think from entrepreneurship point of view. So opportunities are going to be definitely going to be there more. And yes, virtual is going to be the medium. So I am just trying to say COV. V stands for the virtual medium. I think virtual medium is going to be the leveraging factor for all of us. And we're going to innovate a lot of things. Maybe we wouldn't have thought about it, but today we will think about it. And D, I would say, we're going to put a lot of discipline, whether it is from a corporate, whether it is from academy, whether it is from students. I think there's a lot of discipline that all of us have to put. We have to get away from the conventional mode and just, and come up with something very innovative. So that's a pretty submission from my end. Thank you.
Thanks, Kanchan. Thank you. Minu, can you have your introduction?
Sure. So my name is Minu, and I head talent for Adobe. So I had the exec, the lateral, and the campus piece for Adobe. I was listening to my fellow panelists, and I think everybody has really drawn out a very beautiful picture in terms of the challenges, etc. I think the first thing that I want to really lay before as a submission before each one of us is the fact that post-COVID is going to take some time, right? And it's going to be here, and we're going to be in it for a significant period of time. And I think I would for my gracious not even use a terminology like post-COVID, right? I think we are in a new transform, and that's going to be the norm for us. I think it's a great opportunity for each one of us if we really look at it as an opportunity. I think a few of us really kind of dwelt on it for some time. I used to spend like 40 to 60% of my time traveling. I'm not traveling, so which means I have a lot of time available to maybe connect with academia, to connect with institutes, and likewise for a lot of other executives, right? So I think there's a time when there's got to be a greater level of collaboration. As for Adobe, our general campus talent is from the IITs and the IIMs, and we're honoring each one of them. But I'm a little worried about the number of engineers that come out in India, the number of talent that comes out every year in India, and how are we really going to create jobs for them? I think it's going to be paramount for all of us to collaborate to see how do we really use our expertise, how do we really bring in the government into it, and try and weave certain methodologies to really get something working out for each one of us, right? And then the other message that I want to leave each one of us with is the fact that we got to really look how do we transform, how do we stay relevant, and how do we get our employees to be on that transformance journey as well. So with that, I want to rest my quick intro and my quick 2 cents here. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Minu. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Minu. I think we'll have Raju here. Raju, can I have your introduction, please?
Sure. Hi, hello everyone. My name is Raju Vargas. I represent a company called Coke. It is not the aerated company where Anuradha works. It is KOCH. It's a US-based multinational company. There's an acquired company called Molex. So Molex is also the engineering R&D design center for Coke. So nothing has changed for Coke. I think it is just a difference in the work location. We are all connected from home. Nothing has changed. Everything is out and out virtual, starting from onboarding to interviews to offboarding. Everything is virtual. All the meetings, everything is virtual. Yeah, the travel ban is definitely restrictions are always there. But otherwise, from a hiring numbers, from a campus engagement, we really don't see much of a hurdle as we speak. Maybe since this is a US-centric company and the manufacturing facilities largely are in the US, though we have two manufacturing plants in India, we are hoping that things will shape up. But if not, definitely we may see an impact the next 6 to 9 months, and that's when we relook how our strategy on hiring could be. But as we speak, now we are going head on with the hiring. Campus as an organization, Cook or Molex have now been largely in that space. This year, I've recently joined. I've joined 6 months back the organization, and after me joining, we have introduced the campus engagement. We are in connect with few of the universities in terms of interviews and having some people on board. We already have hired close to 30 interns starting as Jan this year. In all probabilities, we will look at absorbing them by June, July. So the plans are all on. Things are looking very positive. Nothing drastically has changed. My only sense would be that we need to really wait and watch how the industry is going to really turn around. If the COVID situation still continues. Thank you so much. Pleasure to have you all. Good to virtually meet you, and I hope this section will be meaningful for all of us. Thank you. Thanks, Shiva Partha.
Thanks, Raju. We have Anupam. Can we have Anupam? Anupam, can you hear us?
Dr. Anupam, are you able to hear us?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, you are able to hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Go ahead, Dr.
Yeah.
Anupam.
Okay, very good evening. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. I'm Anupam Kher. I represent a college called as Sri Ramjayava College of Engineering and Management. I'm from Nagpur. We are one of the leading institutes in Maharashtra, consistently ranked in top 100 colleges in many of the rankings. So, of course, from the perspective of the COVID situation, we have been, we have reached out to the students. We have been also taking a lot of webinars and reaching out to every student, even parents as well, and make them aware that whatever the situation has been discussed up to this point, we have told them that there is a lot of uncertainty lying ahead in front of us. So, better ready for the worst situation. A lot of departments are taking initiatives to give a lot of skill sets to the students. We have taken subscriptions on college basis from like Coursera and Udacity, and students have been asked to do certifications online also. So of course, till the time, most of our recruiters they have been very positive about this situation. But I'm really worried about the 2021 batch, how the recruitment will take place, and we being a tier 2 city, how it is going to affect us. Although we consistently ranked in say top 5-7 colleges in Maharashtra, but the problem is that we are in tier 2 city. So how the recruitment is going to affect us, that would be a problem. So I think that's all from my side. Again, thanks the organizers for allowing me, and I will be joining again in the question and answers session. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Anupam. Good to have, I think, all the speakers with us. We are done with the introductions.
Let's go on to the second point, which is how is COVID-19 impacting campus placements? A bit of an idea has come from a few people. If there is any impactful observation from the academic sector, let's have a few questions. Our industry panelists may be able to answer. unless they're very specifically pointed. Let's not create very specific questions, because at this point of time, none of us have an idea as to when this thing will end and when things will change. There are conjectures that are floating, but let's not go by conjectures. So anybody from the academy, if there is a question, please feel free to ask.
So Dr. Harpal here.
Yeah, great.
I have one very specific question to all the panelists here. I mean, we have been talking about VUCA world, but then I think this COVID situation has taken us much beyond what we could have even thought of, realized. Nobody actually saw it coming as well. Now, how do you feel that the skill set requirement from the companies will change? Because no, companies will become more and more choosy now, because supply and demand kind of a curve which will come in. So people will be more choosy. So how do you think, what should we give back to our students, saying that this is what you have to do, maybe to be a designated leader, maybe in 3 years time or 5 years time or 7 years time from now?
Yeah, Paul, I can take that question. That's fine. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep, sir. Yeah.
Okay, so see, the way the industry is moving, there's not much of change from a skill set requirement. If you understand, it's predominantly looking at what you want to target. It needs to be a very sniper approach on what technologies if you want to target. And predominantly, let's talk about CS, right? It's easier for us to tackle, right? Look at the current technologies which are floating outside in the market. Java being the base for a lot of the skills, either you're on the other side of Java or you're on the scripting side of Java, right? So predominantly look at the core technologies you would want your students to work upon, get them trained in those, because that's the base for a lot of the work which is happening, at least in the IT sector, if you look at from a technologies perspective. One is that. Secondly is for a fact that we need to be in a position where it's not only your work to make sure that they get placed, but also it's their own work to also find jobs themselves, right? It just can't be everything can't be put on your shoulders to make sure that you will find jobs for them, right? It has to be a dual effort from them also to look for jobs. A lot of them can turn into get into becoming entrepreneurs, because it's the right time to also try out things which you may not be in a position to do it right now. So my recommendation is learn on technology. There are enough technology sites which you can look at, and also then target specific companies, because there are sites like Stackshare or few of them which basically talks about each and every company which technologies they work upon, right? And if you go to an X company with that training of the student and you go and present it to them, they'll be more than happy to see what they can be worked upon, right? It has to be a sniper approach. So just 2 cents, I'll let my other panelists speak about it.
Yeah, can I just add a couple of thoughts quickly? Plus one to what Aditya has said already. I think those are great points. Some of the areas, one thing what we have to understand is with this in the new world, everything is going to go more online. There's going to be huge amount of digital transformation, even in companies which were not even thinking of doing it. So some of the areas like web security, infrastructure engineering are two areas which is poised for a lot of growth in the future. So I think students focusing on those domains is going to be useful. And then other areas like healthcare, which is in great demand now, and people had never thought that everyone were preparing to build missiles for third world war, but we had a virus coming and impacting a world. So healthcare industry is going to also undergo have a lot of jobs coming up. So those are certain domains. E-commerce, online everything online, from assessments to shopping online is going to take off in a big way. So those areas and domains is what I think people or the students can really focus on. Yeah, thank you.
Into this one precisely.
Just maybe to add one more thing.
Yeah, Param.
Yeah. Sorry. Just to add one more thing to add here, right? So because I think the students who don't get admission into the good top colleges, right? You talk about IITs, NITs of the world. That's one. And but so even if they're not getting the right college admission there, now I think for them there is no need to move to the mega cities. You talk about Delhi, NCR, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai. They really don't need to move there. So they can have the opportunities, they can do the degree in their own cities, they can study there, and they can apply for the global opportunities later on. So it's not really like because everybody now people can work from home, so it doesn't really matter where you are sitting in, as long as you're productive, as long as you are technical enough to deliver. I think nobody will bother about it now. I think that's a mindset is being changed already. So the point here to make is, I think the local cities, local colleges who are there in the small cities, I think they will have more chances to get more jobs now.
So I'll just add, in terms of skill set, there's not going to be any changes at this point of time, because there's a skill set change which has already been in position. We were talking about AI, ML, we were talking about cloud and everything, but we are not using it to the 100% potential. So it is the right time to utilize all these technologies. We have been talking from last 5 years now. Our baseline is not going to change, like Java, SQL, .NET and everything. They're going to remain. So it is very important for the students to brush up their basics to 100% and implement on what is new coming up right now. So there is no new technologies going to come up, because organizations are not experimenting much right now. It is a consistent way of sustaining in this changing demand rather than experimenting something newer. So that's on skill set from.
Yeah, there's one question from Himani Sood of Chandigarh University. If Himani can ask her question, please.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Himani Sood, Vice President, Corporate Affairs, Chandigarh University. I'm so glad, Partha, thank you for giving us an opportunity to speak with all the industry stalwarts in the time of so much of uncertainty. And thank you, each one of you, for giving us so much of clarity. Instead of a question, I have a request to each one of you. Can you be please speaking to our students, getting them motivated, getting them encouraged, and somehow showing them a direction in the time of dark, and helping them to have some kind of a visibility in how they are going to overcome this.
Hey, Himani, this is Nadeem here. Himani,
can you hear me?
Can I answer, Himani?
Yeah, go ahead, Nadeem.
Yeah, Himani, just to answer your question, we have started doing this invariably from quite some time. There are certain projects in place which we are planning to put them into a pipeline. We are giving them a good visibility. We are giving them a material to understand and run through it in advance based on their theoretical knowledge, and go back and do some Google search and go and do some YouTube search and get some more idea about how the consulting market looks like in the supply chain industry. We have already started doing some amount of engagement with the students in this situation, so that they remain motivated, they remain abreast what they are going to do over a period of time, and they stay connected with some of their team leaders and colleagues. So this work has already been done, and I'm sure all my partners and my extended TA leaders who are sitting here, they have done this program very well, and they would have anchored this well, and to keep the students community motivated and abreast, and not to lose the motivation and not to lose some of the energetic stuff what they have. So I'm sure about that.
I have a point. Adi, one second. Mani, we have a point where we will talk about the collaborative efforts that can be put together between the corporate and the academia. So just wait for some time, and let's carry on with the discussion, because we're getting engaged in the question, and the discussion will remain incomplete. There are 2 points that we want to quickly cover. One is the impact of automation and technology in supporting campus hiring process, and how collaborations can work. Okay, so shall we go to the next point, if you all don't mind?
Before that, Patosi, we have Jay has joined us now. Jaydeep.
Hey, hi. Hi guys, sorry, got technical problems, but finally we were able to join. Yeah, they don't give that expression, okay? I was unable to get my link, so I had to get Yasmin to give the link, okay? Thank you so much. And
I just want to change your name, that's it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Version of Yasmin, Jay.
Thank you. Partho, let the discussion continue, Partho. Don't want to interrupt the flow of the call.
The next point that we are trying to make here is to how suddenly when a disaster comes, how suddenly people who have been inert to change have changed, and the adoption of technology has come so smoothly in, right? You guys went into full-time work from home option. The academy has started teaching online. Now I am saying that, you know, all this technology adoption, what does it augur for both communities?
Hi, Parthada. Can I come in?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Okay, so I think what you described is the thing that's going on right now. It's a reality right now, and I think, like most of us are saying, it's the new normal. And it's amazing to see how quickly all of us just, like you said, came around, started working from home. We have the similar productivity of employees. We've gone ahead with product releases. We're able to do things virtually. For kids, there's online classes. Colleges have done, online options. Of course, the labs, people are looking at doing it differently. I think it only goes to say that, I think the ecosystem, which is the academia and corporate students at large, the talent pool at large is very adaptable today. And I think today, if you look at comparison of what we were in, possibly, 2008, when we had a recession going on, it was more a financial crisis. But I think today it is where everyone's staying at home and is still able to do it. So I think from a skill perspective, while I heard the panel talk about, various options like AI, ML, and, things like that, which could possibly continue. But I think larger things are also where you strengthen you hone your skills of, what you want to get to be. Like, you don't try and do 10 things, like try and focus and sharpen your skills. Look at building your communication skills, because that's so important when you go back in reality. And we don't know in reality if offices will stay. For all you know, we might just continue in a work from home mode. We talked about gig economy. It's almost like a reality now. So when that work environment has changed, students, the talent pool needs to also be adaptable to be able to do it. And I think companies are being very mindful that, when you do certain things online, it comes with a certain pros and cons. And there are limitations when we do it. But I think everyone is in the same boat. So I think there's going to be more mindfulness in the way we are working. It's not like you stay in office for, 12 hours or 14 hours, but I think, being more efficient, being more productive. I think finding an opportunity in what this is for all of us, bringing in more emotional intelligence, I think is also going to be something that, is going to be much more larger, bringing in empathy, and I think those skills are very important for all of us to build. So I think we've proven it, this works, and we don't know yet if this is going to be the future. It's a virus. It's not a civil war that, we have an end date to. So we don't know where it's going to land all of us in. So I think we'll have to just wait and watch and take each day as it comes. Thank you.
Awesome. Monica, you want to add something?
I'll just add one thing which you specifically asked, that we all have accepted it so easily. To be honest, it was always there. It was just like we were never ready to pick it up, that yes, we have to accept it. Now, since the situation is like that, we have no other option. So there is no way to skip out of it. And I'm really, really happy that corporates and organization was still having the infrastructure and compatibility to do it. But from an academia perspective, how quickly they are able to adapt to this change, be it virtual sessions and making sure that the entire program runs on the time, because we are worried whether the college students will get their degrees on time, their exams, how the exams going to happen, how the evaluation going to happen. So I think it is really, really important for us to first give a applause for all of them, that yes, they have taken that initiative and accepted the change so rapidly. Moreover, now we want to have that collaboration built with them on how are they going to do it in the future, and which will help us take our evaluation pattern much better for our hiring perspective, because our hiring perspective will now be entirely dependent on how they're going to evaluate the students at their grounds. So that building and that bridge is something which we want us to build, cover up as soon as possible. Thank you.
Yeah,
I think
there's
it's
a
a
big
mind
question that has come from Harpal of LPU. I'll just read it out. Anybody can take that. Harpal says that we are creating a digital twin of our classes. What, according to the esteemed panel, can be the future? Can the future look like? I mean, a student can take up first 2 years of his course in University A, then deposit his credits in a national notational credit bank, plays IPL for a year and comes back after a year, borrows the credit of his first term year, studies in electronics from University A, and will apply for CSE at University B. Maybe a new normal for education 4.0, embracing digital more and more. Is industry ready to absorb such experimenting students?
So maybe I'll just take a quick shot. If you look at education, it will also transform the way we are looking at education. While if you look at the pre-designed job description and when we do lateral hiring, right, a lot of the places they say engineer, right, and a lot of times you see a non-engineer doing that work, right. There would be, we are looking at an era where formal education will just go outside in due course of time. You can be in a situation where you will have non-engineers doing coding. Actually, they are doing coding. I'm in fact learning how to code, so I'm not an engineer. So there would be a situation where it will become people who specialize in a particular area may not do formal education. They will be in an area where they'll come and deploy, develop, and go away. Right? You're moving into that phase. I'll leave it up to my other panels.
Yeah, maybe if I can add to what Aditya said, we don't know. We don't know what the answer will be because it's too early to say anything, right? All of us are still figuring out whether we'll even go back to office. And the way we are going to office is in a very staggered way, like 10%, 20%, until like August. So it's very hard to say, Harpal, but it's a good question. And who knows, we may be adaptable to that. If you're talking about the gig economy here, who knows, even in the student, and if the college is okay, because there are bigger rules that govern, even the education system, right? There's a whole lot that needs to be changed because it could be that just that one person who's going away for a 1-year break. But then how do you explain that, to the educational sector, where I think everyone needs to come together to really see if you want to make this change. So I think if the thinking expands and if it's going to be like a big step where, whole of academia is coming together to say, this is what we think we want to explore, who knows? I can't think of a definite answer, but yeah, it's a good thing to explore.
Yeah.
I'll add it
As Yasmin said, right? I think it's too early to say something on that line. But so depositing their credit points and taking it back after some time, that's not the norm in India as of today. But if you look at that international studies, be it Europe and US, I think they still have those kind of culture.
Right.
So so I think that's again there may be a change what is maybe required even in the education system of India. Right. So if the colleges, IITs, NITs, because so the rest of the colleges automatically they will follow the culture what IITs and NITs they have that. So if they will have this kind of a culture, and that is the only way there is an education culture in India, and when corporate visit that, they will not have any foundation to hire them. So as of today, when we visit the campuses, we say that okay, there should be no backlog, and there should not be any gap in the education. So when there is a normal culture that people can come and join anytime, they can leave between. And if that's a culture, then corporate definitely have to accept that. So they don't have a choice anyway. But as Yasmin said, it's just it's too early to say. You really can't say that whether things can be done, cannot be done. Are we really going ahead with the Western culture? No, I think it's too early to say.
Yeah, just +1 to all of them. And I also think that we should not think of something very, very big radical changes right now, because it's just 3 months since this whole thing has come upon us. And like like most of my panelists are saying that we don't know what's going to happen. So let's go take it one step at a time. And just right now, just going, moving online, moving all your work online and moving all your studies online itself is a very, very big change for all of us. So I just think we should wait and watch. But yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I think these are the times which will bring about transformation. So who knows? Yeah.
Dr. Kher, anything from your side in terms of a perspective on this? Can't hear you, Dr. Kher.
Yeah. So you are able to hear me now?
Yeah.
So the most of the discussion which is now going towards restricted to IT industry, but like in the engineering sector we have civil engineering, mechanical engineering. What the problem we faced in our colleges that we could not complete their practicals. Although the IT and circuit branches we could complete the practicals, we used a virtual lab wonderful scheme developed by IIT Mumbai. So we could use that virtual lab system for our practicals. But now in terms of industry, the manufacturing industry is like most of the plants, manufacturing facilities are closed for almost a month. So how this sector is going to respond towards the campus placements, although because IT industry was having something like they used to have some percent of people working already from homes, they had a culture, but this is not going to happen so early in manufacturing sector specifically in the so how the industry is going to respond in that sector. If someone can really help me with that, because of course 50% of most of the college students will come from these branches and they will have these questions. They are all the time asking whether our offers will be honored or like, because it is absolutely nothing is happening on that part.
Jay, you want to add something?
Yeah, so see, from a non-software industry perspective, the new normal will not apply. Okay, primarily if you look at the core sectors like your manufacturing, your automation, or your any of the non-core sectors, it needs to have physical employees in the office to make it right. And so I would say that okay, for the time being, you could wait and watch for the next 3 months, because if you look back the economy, the last month is the lowest contracted for the last few months. It will come up. It is the new normal will not imply or not be the thing for the core economy, core sector as such. It is going to impact the new age industries, but not the core. You still need to have a person who can carry your pump from your shop floor to the final thing, and you need to have a painter who can do the painting unless it is automated kind of thing. So you will see that the things coming up. Yeah, but your luxury stuff will be hold it on, but your basic needs you still see a demand picking up. That's from an economy and from an employer perspective. Okay.
Thank you, Jaydeep. In fact,
if you're around, anything that has been left unanswered, you can. Sure.
What we have observed in our education system rightly, like even the senior professors, those who are even are likely to retire in few months, they have adopted very fast to the online education system. The problem we are facing right now is consistency in evaluation. So same problem I think you will be also facing sometime, because of course you are doing the online evaluation quite long time, but in terms of we could see the spike in the scores of the students in the online examination, despite having taken a lot of effort from our side. Any suggestions from your side that you have been using such systems for quite long time? We cannot now do invigilation of our own. We have to rely on what the students are doing. So everyone is seeing that there is a surge in terms of the marks of the students. We need to evaluate, go to next level of evaluation. In fact, find out that kind of question that students really need to think. A lot of time is being utilized on developing new set of question papers. Basically, that the students will be they can't just send the answers over WhatsApp and then start copying. So that level is coming up. And of course, next is like the developing the faculty over the technologies, because earlier we used to do a lot of on-hand like kind of lab sessions for the faculties, and we were fortunate even to have collaboration with a lot of our recruiters. We have done numerous faculty development programs, but everything now will be done in the online mode. Let's hope that maybe the situation improves quite early. But if at all we need to, train our faculty for these challenges, like any inputs from the industry, like whether they will be helping us in the online mode, what could be the new dimension that we could bring in to train the faculties.
So I think very good point for raising this one, because we were waiting for some efforts on that, but precisely all the corporates who are into campus hiring perspective, they are all open for a faculty grooming programs, and now it is all the more important to have that implemented virtually, because that was the purpose is actually needed now. Moreover, there are a lot of new platforms which are required for assessments. We are there to guide you in terms of what technologies and what parameters are we really looking forward to see the evaluation outcome. So I won't say any organization will say no if you reach out to them saying that yes, this is what we are planning. And this is more of a hands-on connect we are building across. And all of us, I mean, we were never so comfortable engaging with the universities now, because this is now you're going to help us evaluate our candidates better. And so all the more it is very important for us to give you that platform, give you those trainings and sessions virtually. More than happy for it. And I'm sure rest of the organizations are also available for the same.
Anything that you want to add, Adi?
Monica covered it to some extent. I will just add, I think the way you are addressing it is a little different. You need to accept that the change is already there, it's at your door. Hoping for a fact that everything will go back to normal and we can get back to a classroom session is not the right way of looking at it. I'm sorry, I'm just bursting the bubble very in front of you, right in front of you, because that's the new normal. We had to, the good and the bad part of Corona being there is the adoption, right? I don't know if any of you remember, there's a law used to be called as Martech's law, which basically says the technology is moving faster than our adoption. Now somehow it's moved up, actually it's coming together. You need to be in a position to adopt. The best thing which works for me, in fact, is I have a Gen Z in my own team. I get reverse mentored by those. It will be good for you to get reverse mentored by your own kids in your own college, because they will be the best person to tell you what in technology works and what doesn't. As one big saying says, KYC, know your customer, right? So you need to understand from the kids what all technologies they can help you upskill, so that you are in a position to move faster and leaner. And somewhere down the line, see if you can move at a faster rate of saying that if everything goes virtual from both angles in due course of time, how do you look at that? So accepting change and adapting to technology will be the key thing for you, and getting it done from your own kids, that's the best thing which can happen to you. You don't need any corporates to come and tell you what is required, right? Just my 2 cents.
I was reading today somewhere, so it says fortunes change if we change. Mankind doesn't like change, but you need to embrace change if the alternative is only disaster. Yeah, in the present situation, I think this is very apt as a statement. I have another question which I received from Imani of Chandigarh University. She wanted to ask, are we going to stick to the 7th semester hiring model, or because of this pandemic, we will shift to 8th semester hiring model? Any new norms of hiring?
Okay, I would say some virtual. I think it's going to be virtual, and 7th sem, 8th sem is going to be the one and same. Only thing is, people would look at, okay, when do you want to onboard, and based on that, if you're in 7th sem, you take it. when you want, or if your onboarding date is earlier, go to HSM and then take the people. That's all. But it's not going to be a virtual, and you would not see many employers coming to the campuses, unlike in the past. It's going to be like the TCS done about a year, 2 years back about getting an online exam across the country. So it's going to be for your people. Let's do it. If they're able to complete it, then the selected one, the shortlisted ones would be coming in for a discussion table. So it's completely going to be a new thing to look forward, and it's also keeps the students not to miss many classes, as well as the employers not to have spent too much time and money on hiring the campus as well, while that is a most important thing to do for an organization.
I think if I can add in, sorry, go ahead, Adi.
Yasmin, go ahead.
Okay, thanks. So I think, thanks, Himani, for asking that question. And I think there's a larger cloud on all of us right now. While I know from a student, from a placement perspective, and we're grateful and thankful to all of you for doing a fantastic job of thinking so futuristically and trying to see how to help the students. But I think if business remain, everything else will remain, right? So today the companies are also focusing on, how do we make sure business is running? How do we make sure we have revenue coming in? How do we make sure there's no impact on headcount or, different things that we need to do? So I think while that continues, I think, and if things start looking brighter, I think hiring will continue, and there will be opportunities for everyone, not just academia and students, but I think, even the rest of the pool that's around. So I think it's a phase we're all going through together, and we have to cross it together. Thank you.
So just one input, relook at your curriculum, and I think this has always been a bane with a lot of your what's been taught and what we'll end up doing. I think specifically when it comes to engineering, I'm assuming Himani is asking for engineering. So relook at your curriculum. To some extent, what is very critical is live projects. I somehow feel that that's one part which we are not fully utilizing.
It's
How can you?
Aren't you like helping? Nobody's yet come. So take these cups. Thank you.
Jasmine,
sorry.
Jasmine, you need to go on mute.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Sorry.
No worries. No worries. So, yeah, I lost my train. Okay, so you look at the curriculum and also maybe look at going back to understanding how can you prepone your own projects, right? Virtual projects. End of the day, when any kid sits for internship or for the finals, he's always assessed more on the project he or she brings to the table. The more understanding the person has on virtual projects, if they can do more virtual projects with the industry, irrespective of which year they are sitting at, will always help them to understand technology far more better. And the other part is also try and see how do you get industry specialists to come and do virtual sessions for you guys on technologies, because they are the people who are implementing it. It's very different to be taught theoretically and very different to be using it and implementing it. So this is my 2 bits to it. Thanks.
And I think if we look at that, right, I think our thoughts are even still around more campus standpoint. Somebody who's passing out with chemical engineering, mechanical engineering. So are they looking for a virtual thing? May not be, right? So how, I think from a campus standpoint, I think their thoughts are very much on the doubt perspective, and their worries are also right that they are not only focusing about technology, only software, information technology and all that.
Yes, so I think very well covered by Param in terms of it is not only engineering and IT, CS we are talking about from a hiring perspective. It is all the more important for us to understand that the entire industry is going with a change. The curriculums and everything is going through a change. There would be change in 7th semester or 8th semester, because right now companies are not even thinking about hiring, because most of the organizations are undergoing hiring freeze. We are not even planning for our 2021 hires. Actually, by this time, we are already on the roads to hire. But currently, there is a lag and that lag will impact. So how universities can help us in this particular segment is modifying their academic curriculum in a manner that they can modify their internships and trainings or the semester which they are supposed to cover in 8th semester, they do it now. Because by the time companies are reassessing their hiring numbers, they should not waste this important time of the students. They should work on the curriculum which they have it at hand, possibly anything which is going to come in future. Let's do it now. So modification in curriculum is really, really important and required from academia at this point of time. Second is students should be given an opportunity that they should not be felt in a manner that they will 100% get placements. They should be ready to take up freelancing opportunities. They should be ready to take up virtual training programs, should not be focusing more on a compensation perspective, but a right role for them, and also how they can bring value in the colleges they are studying. And if they are doing some implementation of a project in their academia, we as an organization will also accept that in future. There would be a lag of a year, but possibly after a year, in case these people come back and tell us that these are the projects they have deployed and implemented in their colleges, we will be more than happy to accept them. So they should be mentally clear about it, that they are Gen Z people, and they have to be ready for the future. They can't be just given everything on the plate. So glad you guys are putting so many efforts, but ultimately these students have to put on those efforts and showcase at the time of interviews when they appear. So that's an expectation, and I think that's my bit for the today. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Manika. And there was another point that we wanted to cover, which was to how do we progress on this collaboration between the academia and the corporate sector, predominantly to create employable manpower. See, no college likes, or no recruiter likes that they visit a campus, meet 200 students and end up hiring 20. Now, there are various initiatives that we are aware that are being worked out to, there are courses which are being added to the existing curriculum so that people get prepared for a particular kind of work or a particular segment. Now, are there any thoughts from the corporate in terms of, being keen to pursue such possibilities? Param, your take on that?
I missed the question. You may have to repeat one.
Okay. See, what we are saying is that, this industry says that we don't find the right people, though they have studied a particular course. And the academia feels bad that, we put up 200 students, only 20 got hired. Okay. I'm not talking about the open positions. I'm talking about the relevance of the student to a particular kind of job. So are there any renewed initiatives from the corporate side to prepare students by, say, supporting a particular course with a typical elective designed for the same? Is this effort increasing?
Sure. So I think part of that effort is definitely increasing. So corporate side, whichever the target campuses and partner campuses, they have that. They already, they always, groom the students to ensure that they are meeting the expectation whenever we visit the campus for the hiring and all that. But so I have one recent example. So one of the college, I really don't want to take the name. It's a very well-known and top-notch campus in India. Not really IIT, but I think equivalent to IIT. So they said recently, we have a batch of 100 students who have a good data science skills. So why don't you visit us if you have a data science project? So why don't you visit us, and do the hiring there? So we tried to match up the compensation even with the IIT, and so we went ahead for the hiring for the particular campus. And I think we met more than 55-60 people. They have gone through a test as well, and we end up hiring only one resource from that particular college. So if you look at that, so college we never know that college really have a data science course. They actually created sales pitch and sent it to us, and we went ahead for that college in process. End of the day, it was not a really great output. So if I look at that, is there a mistake from the corporate? No. But is there a mistake from the campus? May not be. But are we really putting together enough a curriculum there so that those students can get well trained and we can be presentable to the corporate world? So if I, as a corporate, if I visit to any campus, I really feel that somebody is said something, I believe on that, right? But if they are not really, performing well, for me, it's very easy to eliminate that particular campus the next year. But is there a loss to the campus? Definitely, because they may be, doing it for one corporate and one corporate may be spreading that word across to the other few corporates as well. So we really have to be ensure as a campus side that what we are presenting, are we sharing the fake picture of our campus or no? Honestly, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm not saying that you guys are doing it or not doing it, but I'm just saying whatever the talent we have, be transparent with the corporate. If you feel that something is really missing out, be transparent with the corporate and say that hey, we need this a support from your side. Can you are our regular partner, can you visit to our campus and give some lectures? Or can you send some SMEs to our campus who can train the people out there? Or can we run some sort of a workshops? So all that is partnership will come together only when we are partnering together and when we are transparent between both of aspects. If we are not, I think then there is a lot of challenge both sides.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Himani,
just to add on, yeah, Parthada, yeah, just to add on, there are few universities and colleges we have customized their content. For example, as corporate, we also feel that there are few I mean, the educational content, what is being there, it's a little conventional from a relevant point of view. So we have customized some of the courses. For example, if you have to look at a C embedded engineer, it almost takes almost 8-9 years for us to really have a refined expertise individual to actually mentor and bring him on that speed. It almost takes 7 to 8 years. Now we are going to the academy and customizing the courses, which is already being done in the in the conventional mode. Probably we will have to leverage the medium of digital and technology, which is also started, and so that is definitely helping us in terms of getting the right talent for the right skill, just not by inducting people on the selection process, but going to the college, giving them a perspective, what is this technology and their career growth is going to be. Based on their interest and passion, people take these courses with us, and they go through an evaluation process, pre-evaluation, and then the training content, and then the post-evaluation, because they are getting into the right technology and niche areas. So this is already in practice, but now from a digital medium, yes, we have already started leveraging. We have signed MOUs with many colleges on this front on different technologies. So that's pretty much there is what I would say, which is definitely happening on the ground.
Thank you so much, Himani. I hope it answers your question. And if there is anything else, let's interact on the WhatsApp group and probably take it further.
We have one question, Partho. Yes, a couple of questions asked by the audience here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why I was closing this conversation. You can put those questions.
I think it's a great place.
Thank you.
So the question is, how do you see hiring switch in terms of skill set for MBA students? What is the companies looking for, considering the COVID-19? And I mean, if hiring is going to be very less, very minimum numbers, how is that? And what are the skill sets that industry is looking at in students? This is asked by Surabhi Jain.
I believe. Sorry, go ahead, Kanchan.
Yeah, okay, perfect. See, from a hiring numbers, we certainly, I don't think it's going to come down. I'm saying from an organization point of view, there's going to be a staggered way of looking at our numbers and approach. Okay, so it maybe not be huge number for sure, but yes, the company is also revisiting how we should really, with the current situation, how should we leverage the numbers. So that time factor is going to help us to decide how many people that we need. Okay, that's one from a number point of view. And yes, there are a lot of ramp up deals which are happening. So that's all positive for many of the organizations, and still they would want to bring the new set of talent, train and bring them. So that's pretty much there. The time factor is only going to be, the duration that's going to take some time. From a skill set point of view, it remains the same. I wouldn't say because of the COVID situation, things are going to drastically change from an expectation point of view. So the technical ability, the soft skills, the basic foundation skills are going to be the key thing that we will not be going to compromise in any given point in time. So the only thing is the medium is going to change. It's not going to be physically revisiting and doing it. We'll be leveraging many online platforms. So there will be the online tools are going to take charge of our evaluation process. And definitely, I would say from a student's preparation point of view, I would request the academy to see how they can present themselves. If you can train people on those aspects, probably we can also help in driving some of the sessions for them. What is an expectation that how should they present themselves? How should they really, convey and, give the trust factor during the interview process when they are going to do it virtually? Those are a few newer things that we will have to probably bring in people's readiness or students' readiness, and from an academic point of view, how they can tweak their approach of training and bringing this new set of candidates in the given process. So the FY21, the 21 batch probably is going to be a different challenge, but I think all of us will go through the entire path. But these are few tweaking. If we do, I'm sure we will be able to overcome the current situation. Yeah. Yes, Praveen.
Shivu, any more questions?
So I thought again varies from organization to organization and culture to culture. So what is the organization have those? I don't see there will be difference, but I think my only one cent is, so whenever I go for hiring, and I always can you hear me?
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes, we are able to hear.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, so we always look for a problem solver. I really don't see that somebody is, so somebody is working into Java today, he can't work into machine learning, or a machine learning guy cannot work on the big data technologies or AI. I think it's just a mindset. So we always look for a problem solver. Somebody have that mindset, a good attitude. I don't really see, that is, that varies from technology to technology or a skill set to skill set. The skill set remains same. Whatever we have, that we'll keep hiring from the campuses, irrespective as IIMs or other management institutes. But I think the problem solving skill is a key for all the campuses now. Sorry, for all the corporates.
Harpal, is come in.
Yeah, I'm there, sir.
Yeah, you were saying something.
No, sir. I was listening to the entire deliberation, sir.
There's another question here. What is the perspective for B school hiring for 2021 passing out students? Question asked by Anant Nag.
Yeah, I think I would like to say that I think it's too early to predict that. And like we have said in the previous answers, right, that getting back to work is the most important thing for all of us now. So I think it's good to wait for a few more months and see how this new normal is going to pan out for the world in general and for everyone, and before we take a call. So I guess we need to wait until October, November timeframe to figure out what is going to happen for 2021 management B school students. But
I think I'm concur with Savita.
Thinking is, yes, sure.
Right,
Yeah,
Savita,
go
sorry.
ahead, please.
Okay, so concur with Savita, right? So it is too early to say anything on those lines. And I think corporate's leadership team, I think the first focus is to ensure that whatever we have today, let's be more productive, let's be more efficient on those lines. And if that's a norm for next 6 more months, can we survive or no? And if we can survive with what bandwidth and how the productivity will be, all that, I think we are still focusing on our existing productivity, performance, and all that. I think it's too early to say. Let's wait for a couple of more months to come back, and I think by then picture will be more clear.
And patch Lunal also, if you think it's okay now.
Yeah. Any other perspective? I think yes, as you all mentioned that we'll have to wait and see. But however, they can go on preparing their students as usual for the business, not to
absolutely
not to be impacted through the COVID-19. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's not bad news all across. There are companies which are continuing to hire. There are companies which have not withdrawn their offers. Larger organizations, I mean TCS, is still continuing with.
Sorry if I'm calling you at the wrong timing. Sailesh is on the other line. I just thought I'll talk to you. Shall I patch him? Yeah.
So what I was saying was it is not bad after all, and I am sure, I'm sure, as the disaster becomes the reality as it has become today, there will be new innovations happening in the entire process of hiring. Newer roles will come up, and with the gig economy at the doorstep, I think newer roles for students will come up. I remember, one short snippet that I'd like to give you. When Walt Disney was at his lowest ebb, Mickey Mouse popped out of Walt Disney's mind onto a drawing pad on a train ride from Manhattan to Hollywood. He and his brother were at the lowest ebb, and disaster was around the corner. Now, I'm sure this applies today as well. I mean, everybody is suffering the pain, but after the pain, everybody is trying to figure out how to cut this pain and move ahead. And I'm sure we can end on this positive note that we have better days.
So from 41, we are saying 50, including the NV 43.
Param?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so very much. I think that's a session, and so all the campuses, I think it's a great connect with all of you. I think a few of you I'm already connecting offline as well. Like Himani, I think we connected already, and I'm connecting with NPU as well. So let's stay in touch, and whenever you need any help, so I think corporate folks are available for all of you. I think it's a joint effort to bring the right perspective. And I think that's the right time for all of us to think together for our future as well. And that's the right time for all of us to bring new ideas all together to ensure that we are corporates are getting the right people from the market and from the good campuses, and these are as always they are productive and make sure they are to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Param.
This last question, what about the courses like biotechnology, research industry basically? And how is the perspective for these industries? So the question was asked by Debjani Deb.
I do think that those are the areas.
Shiva, I think, what industry? Yeah. Savita, go ahead, please.
Sorry, Param.
Yeah, I just think that these are the industries which are going to see a lot of demand in the future, especially the healthcare industry, biotechnology, and research. Considering the current situation, what we're in, people never thought of those areas. Pharmaceutical industry and all are going to poise for a change. So I personally think that those are going to have a lot of scope in the future.
Absolutely. Considering the current situation, I think those are the only industries will survive in future then. And I think as I said that Shiva. So I think as of today, I think the major of the leadership folks corporates belong to, they are more into IT, technology, and all that. Where you can survive with a work from home easily. But does these industries, survive with a work from home? May not be. You talk about chemical engineering, ceramic engineering, mechanical, civil, all that. People have to be out. Unless they are not out, that means they don't have a work. They can sit idle at home, but ultimately, so they can't work for long. So that's how the things are, right? So the other industry where you talk about, right, bio and all that, I think they will have a great scope. But if same situation comes in future as well, people may be sitting idle at home, unlike IT folks.
Absolutely. Okay, great. Thanks. I think now we will take the questions maybe offline. We're going to answer all the questions that asked by you people. And thank you so much for all the speakers. Yeah, anything else to say at the last? Maybe one or 2 minutes from each one.
Sorry, Shiva, just last one. Probably, what you can do is you can run a survey with all those campuses. Let them put up some questions to you guys, and we can sanitize those questions. We can remove the duplicates one, and we can bring back to the same WhatsApp group, and we can revert back with those answers to all the campuses. Does it make sense?
Okay. Absolutely, it makes sense. Yeah, thank you so much. I think good to close. Partha, you have anything else to say?
Param, last of the warriors standing. You're the last warrior standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
All
Bye,
for you, sir.
Bye, Guru Di Fateh.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And request.
Savita is also there, by the way.
Oh, Savita, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Savita.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah,
thank you.
Thanks all the speakers.
Thank you, guys. Bye. Take care.
And thanks all the audience who have joined us. Please join us in our social media. You can see the screen out here. You can join us in all our social media to get connected with our industry speakers and industry leaders, and we'll get connected. Feel free to reach me if you need anything, and we will share this recorded video very soon and in a couple of days. Thank you so much.
In fact, a few panelists had to leave because of their prayers and fast breaking. I on behalf of GWFM, on behalf of Shiva and me, I thank all of you for being with us through these last 2 hours and spending time beefing up the intellectual level of all of us involved. Thank you so much for the opportunity to host all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. Bye.
Close. Yeah.